I told you guys that when enough is enough, enough is enough. Now, Lifetime, all of y'all lying. Lisa Van Allen, all of y'all lying. So now, what y'all about to hear is the plot that Sparkle has put out and who she contacted and who she chose to try to exploit just all to hurt R. Kelly, all for her personal gain. Once again, y'all don't gotta believe me. But women lie, men lie, evidence don't. Here's the whole detail, not the whole, but I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of the detail from the 2008 trial. Sit back and listen to this. Now y'all gonna see who's the real liars and who's not. Hashtag free R. Kelly. Hashtag vindicate R. Kelly. Hashtag Kelly is innocent. Hashtag lock Sparkle and Barry Hankinson up. Now.
Dispatches from the R. Kelly trial, written and read by Josh Levine. Sparkle's Revenge. If there's a life lesson to be taken from the R. Kelly trial, it's that when you're trying to help your niece launch a music career, perhaps it's best to widen the search for mentors beyond the man who sings, "It Seems Like You're Ready" and "I Like the Crotch on You." On the stand this afternoon, Stephanie Edwards, a.k.a. the R&B singer Sparkle, says that she introduced the alleged victim to Kelly when the three of them met up in the log cabin to watch the Chicago Bulls in the NBA Finals. Depending on whether this was the Bulls' fifth or sixth championship, the alleged victim would have been either 12 or 13. A basketball player herself, the girl was jolly, personable, and a little tomboyish. Kelly, Edwards says, liked her spirit. This suggests a possible song title for the clean version of R. Kelly's greatest hits, "I Like the Spirit on You." Stephanie Edwards' 2 hours of testimony are a reminder that the cliches of the televised courtroom drama aren't entirely fanciful. As she remembers her niece's personality, Edwards, her hair up in a tight bob, gold hoop earrings dangling down to the top of her long neck, a dash of sparkly glitter applied neatly above her left cheek, dabs at her eyes, and one of the sheriff's deputies in the room brings her tissues. Defense attorney Edward Jensen, too, performs like a man in search of a camera. Jensen, who looks like an unkempt sheepdog but questions witnesses like a flesh-hungry pit bull, presses her to admit that she was intimately involved with the production and distribution of the sex tape, including scheduling a screening for the girl's parents. Sparkle says that never happened. "You have no idea why they'll testify to that?" Jensen asks, immediately withdrawing the question as the prosecution objects furiously. For the first half hour or so of cross-examination, Jensen gathers details to support the defense's little man theory. He asks whether she knows how many of the hours and hours of footage typically shot for a music video are never used. She has no idea. How many different videos Kelly has made over the years? A lot. And how many videos the alleged victim's much smaller time musical group starred in during its career? She says 2 or 3. Jensen next establishes Sparkle's motive: a bitter musical divorce. After her self-titled album, released in 1998 and produced, written, and arranged by Kelly, was certified platinum, Edwards expressed a desire to work with other producers. This did not sit well with Kelly, she acknowledges, and the two of them parted ways contractually in 2000. Over Jensen's protestations, Edwards insists that she and Kelly still got along personally at this point. "He was my homeboy," she says, though she also admits that Kelly withheld royalty payments and claims that he still hasn't paid for her decade-old album. A short while later, Sparkle started talking with record exec Barry Hankerson, Kelly's one-time manager and now bitter enemy. Jensen asserts that Hankerson and Kelly are foes, though he omits the fact that Kelly's child bride, Aaliyah, was Hankerson's niece. Upon leaving the singer's employ, Hankerson wrote a letter to Kelly's record label saying that he needed psychiatric help for his compulsion to pursue underage girls. Jensen, with his voice raised to a near shout, tries repeatedly and futilely to get Edwards to admit that she got calls on her cell phone from Hankerson and that they talked about their common enemy. Was part of the deal doing something bad to Robert? A frothing Jensen asks. When Sparkle says, of course not, he repeats her words back sarcastically. Jensen leaves it to us to put all of this together. Let's give it a try. Frustrated with her declining musical career, and perhaps resentful of Kelly's astoundingly successful one, Sparkle hatched a scheme to extort her rich ex-mentor and to turn the words of her hit song Be Careful into reality. You better be careful what you do to me, she sang, 'cause somebody might do it to you. While Kelly was out making beats one night, perhaps she enlisted a pair of underemployed porn actors to bust into the singer's log cabin and film themselves having sex, peeing, etc. Meanwhile, Sparkle and Hankerson harvested outtakes from Kelly's copious back catalog of music videos, then took advantage of the thriving black market and little man quality digital effects wizardry to Frankenstein together Kelly's face and the urinator's body. Sparkle's motive for putting her niece in the video is less clear. For the sake of argument, let's assume that she was mad at her for, say, borrowing her glitter without permission. After Kelly refused to pay to keep the video under wraps, Sparkle sent the video to the Chicago Sun-Times, willing to make her niece collateral damage to disgrace the man who'd done her wrong. The defense, of course, doesn't have the burden of proving that any of that happened, and Jensen does create a few slivers of doubt about Edwards' story. Sparkle says that she first learned of the tape in December 2001 via a phone call from a lawyer named Buddy Something. Her choice to omit the man's last name, it's Myers, by the way, comes off a bit stagey, like she's trying too hard to act like she'd never heard of or spoken to the guy. A couple of lingering questions. How did Myers get the tape? And why would Myers first contact the alleged victim's aunt, a woman who happened to have a failed working relationship with Kelly, rather than contacting the girl's parents? Near the end of her hours of testimony, Edwards cocks her head to the side with a quick snap, finally unable to hide her annoyance with Jensen's unrelenting inquisition. The defense attorney, perhaps noting the change in the witness's mood, shifts into theatrical overdrive. Jensen tries to get a rise out of Edwards by shouting that it's not Kelly on the sex tape. The conversation devolves into a testy exchange over whether the girl on the tape is or is not a prostitute, and whether or not we're all here today because Edwards is after Kelly's money. Sweetie, I am not trying to get any money with this, says Edwards. Rarely has a term of endearment dripped with so much disdain. I am not your sweetie, Jensen states for the record. With the witness and lawyer playing the dozens, Judge Gahn steps in to break things up before they get out of hand. Jensen, however, won't stop talking, and now it's Gahn who's ready to rumble. Mr. Jensen, you're not listening, he says, a military man clearly irked with having lost control of his troops. From the beginning, Gahn has been determined not to let this trial turn into a circus, going so far as to speak with court officials involved in Michael Jackson's trial.
Now that y'all have the holes that's in there and everything else, and y'all have the truth, are y'all still gonna ride with R. Kelly and Aaliyah was married? Are y'all still gonna ride with R. Kelly is guilty? Or are y'all gonna look at the facts to see R. Kelly was set up by Sparkle, Barry Hankerson, and the other people, along with the backing of Harvey Weinstein and Lifetime, aka Disney, aka A&E? Do I have to go any further? And listen to what they call the person on the tape. A porn star. I never knew a victim was a porn star. Well, from this point, you be the judge. I told you. Lifetime, you messed up. Sudi, you have messed up a lot. And I have yet to dig into my case. But on tomorrow, I'll talk to my lawyer. And we will see what's going on. So, victims? Nah. Accusers? Yeah. R. Kelly? Innocent? Yeah. Bring my man home. Peace.